And I get a text from her, and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be late." She's like, "I haven't left yet." She lives in Mason, so she's about a half hour away. So I leave, and Todd, my buddy Todd over there, Todd, wave. He's tiny, so you might not see him wave, but
See, me again.
So I text him, and I'm like, I just left work talking to him about the day and stuff, and he's like, "Man, just hang in there, do it." So at 7:30 comes, I go back to rock bottom, I get another text from her. She's like, "I still haven't left yet." So I text Todd again, and of course Todd gives.
Melissa, I love you. Before he says
I text Todd again. Of course, Todd gives the 4-letter word. Leave her. Just leave her. Don't even say anything. So I was like, I'd actually typed a text to her that said, "Hey, this isn't going to work out. Let's just cancel." I got my finger like that close to texting, and I didn't for some reason. And she got there and apologized and everything. And I remember that one of the first things I said to her was, I said it's not a big deal. Either it's hey, we doesn't work out tonight, or if it does work out, we have a good story for our marriage. That's how we started off. So it's kind of a neat little way to start things off. The second thing was everybody kind of remembers that moment where they knew if they had the right person or not. And at Christmas time, we'd only been dating about a month, and she gave me this picture frame, and I stopped, and she was like freaked out, thought she gave me a bad gift or something, but it had the Bible verse, Jeremiah 29:11, which is about God having a future for you and stuff. Well, about 2 months earlier, she didn't realize this, but I had gone through a small group at church, and it was about, the whole concept was God is your father type thing, and it just didn't gel with me at all. It didn't make any sense. But they had an exercise there on, it was kind of like choose your own adventure, like figure this out, figure this out, figure this out, figure this out, and it leads you to a Bible verse. And the Bible verse I had was a Jeremiah 29:11, and my whole thing was like, hey, I'm 38, whatever then. And I'm not married or anything, but I know there's a plan for me and stuff. And then 2 months later, I get a frame with that on there. And I didn't even know Jeremiah was a book of the Bible, so to get a frame with that on it was pretty neat. So that kind of was where I really knew things were going to work out. So I want to talk a little bit about everybody in here, and I'm going to talk about Melissa's friends for Melissa. Mr. Keller and I go back to high school. I always say he's my favorite teacher, but I never had him. He was
that student I never had.
Yeah. But I worked summer crew with him, and he got ordained as a minister a couple years ago. So as soon as we got engaged, I asked Melissa, I was like, that's who I want to do it, and he said yes right away. So it was just great on that. Talk a little bit about my parents here. They're up here. If you guys have met my mom, she's a nervous wreck right now, so just cut her some slack for right now. And my dad wasn't a nervous wreck until he had to give a speech, but did a very good job on that. And also thank them for the great night tonight. They so they think I hate them for some reason, but the reason I've never gotten in trouble with anything is because of my respect and love for them and stuff, and I've just really done things the right way. So.
Never been called.
My high school friends was I pretty square?
Yes. Still. What about your current friends? Can we vote?
My newer friends square.
Yes.
So that's my brother and his kids. And so, Cap, can you stand up? The first question everybody asks is if we're twins. We are not twins for the people out of town. But can you sit down? Hold on, stand up. I've always been able to tell him what to do, and he does whatever I say, so it's been great. But my parents also think I hate him, which I don't get. But the thing that's fun about our relationship is we have that true brother relationship where we just have opposite interests, so we just always give each other a hard time and just have an absolute blast about it. So he's going to be the best man tomorrow, and we'll have fun with that. Missy, I feel terrible with this whole wedding. Missy, we wanted to be a bigger part of this wedding, but she's got the big thing tomorrow of watching both the little ones and making sure they get on stage and everything, so we appreciate you doing that for us. And she's been a great addition to our family as well. I've been friends with Dana since grade school, high school, and we continue to be friends. One cool thing about Dana is I've never lost touch with him. He's got 2 kids, 2 foster kids on top of that now, and he's never let anything get between the friendship with anything. We still go out, he brings the kids along and stuff, so it's just been great with that. My friend Steve over there, we worked together, and that's what we did. Steve and I, he's the only person that understands me. I unfortunately collect something weird.
What is it? What is it? What?
They're action figures. But he also does, and just it's been great because we've had so much fun with that, and he's the only one that really understands me on that thing. And then John here, John's another work friend. John and I, like a lot of my friends, started off button heads because we have the same personality.
Whoa.
Easy. But John, we work together, and he's one of those, like I talked about with Rebecca, that you have your work friends and you have your true friends, and he's one of my friends that's outside of work too and just brings a lot to the table. And the video we're going to see here in a little bit, he actually put together for us, so thank you for doing that. Jamie, that's over at the table. Jamie works with me as well. He's not. He's not. Are you sure? But he's a lot of people actually think him and I are brothers more than my brother. They think we look alike. People, a lot of the high school teachers thought we were brothers, and unfortunately we act like brothers and do stupid stuff to each other. But he's just been great fun to hang out with, and we've also known each other since grade school, high school, college, and worked together. My friend Bobby, he's another one that's flown in all the way from California, and he's brought his wife Mary, who actually just got here from China. So, yes, he just paid for her as a bride, so it's perfect.
It's kind of what it sounded like.
She just got in here flew all the way here, and had a bunch of layers and stuff, so thank you for coming out here. But Bobby and I go back. Bobby and I actually hated each other up until our sophomore years of high school, and then we were forced to have every class together and just become great friends through that. And so, appreciate you coming out. Brian, can you stand up for a second? Can you take your jacket off?
Just my dad.
Yes. And turn around real quick. All right. Everybody's got that one friend. He's mine. He's just that one guy that just doesn't care about life. So he lets everything go and does whatever. When I go to him, I'll go to his brother Eric. Eric, can you stand up? Yes, that's his brother. Eric and I, Eric's about 8 years younger, but Eric and I started hanging out probably in my late 20s. Eric and I are good situational friends. When he doesn't date anybody and I wasn't dating anybody, we always hung out, and then we eventually just became good friends and started hanging out through the years. My two friends over here, Heather and Bev. Bev, raise your hands so we know you. And Heather. Yes, they're on my side. They're girls, but on my side. I went to grade school and high school with them. Heather was just
girlfriends.
Yes, we used to date. But Heather used to. Heather just made a comment about how she's never going to wear a dress for me again, and forgot she had already worn a dress for me at our junior homecoming.
And that picture better not be in that.
And it is on there. And Bev and I went to senior prom together, and that's on here. So those are on there as well. So we've been great friends for years. And I'm going to talk about their husbands a little bit. What's great about their husbands is I've become real good friends with both of them. They're unfortunately not in the wedding. The only reason why is it's due to numbers. It was a numbers game. We kind of got a little overboard. But they've accepted me as a friend, even though I'm friends with their wives from day one, so I appreciate that. Back there's my friend Rob. Rob. He's another one I've gotten to know. I've known him for about 20 years. We've played softball and stuff, but just in the last 10 years, we've gotten real close. We do football on the weekends and stuff, but just through kind of the similar things, experiences with Eric and I, we've become real good friends. Gary, who's next to him, Gary is Mary Beth's brother, grew up across the street from me, and Gary was great to me as a kid. Gary was about 5-6 years older than me, was always willing to toss baseball and everything with me, and growing up, my favorite athletes were Nick Saski, Ken Griffey Jr., and Gary Sider. Until I got older, and then I realized I was actually a better athlete than Gary.
This is like a roast.
No doubt.
Gary and I go back years, and so it's just great to have him part of it. Todd next to him. Todd's my shortest friend over there. But Todd's another work friend of mine. We've gone back about 10 years. Had a lot of life experiences and work experiences together, and just have grown. And he just got married about a year ago, so I appreciate you being here as well. Joe, who's next to him. Joe's another one of my friends who we actually almost got in a fight the first time I met him. I was up at the tennis courts, and unfortunately Joe and I are both sissies, so we just hit tennis balls at each other instead of doing anything. So didn't really go into anything, but just he's another one I've worked with, gone to college with, and everything. So just want to thank all of you for being a part of our big day. Couple things before we get started. We got gifts for everybody. Well, almost everybody, but most of you guys. But up there we have a platter that if you haven't signed, please sign that for us. There's a picture we'd like to get you guys to sign around as well. And if all the groomsmen and ushers, I have a baseball that I'd like to just autograph just for my keepsake. But I'm going to get back there, start handing out the gifts to everybody, and we'll get those started. And then they'll cut the cakes. If you haven't seen the cakes, they're pretty cool. There's a Reds hat and a Bengals football back there if you want to check those out. So, but thank you all for being here. Appreciate it.